everyone. I'm Jesse Burst of SmartGridNews.com. I'll be your host today. Very pleased to bring this topic to you, hard-won wisdom for smart meter deployments. If you are deploying smart meters or piloting smart meters or planning smart meters, I guarantee you're going to get some great tips and techniques from today's session, things you can hear today and use tomorrow. And these have been very hard-won lessons. Your ideas gleaned from actual real-world installations. And, I think it's important because smart meters are so visible. They become such a lightning rod. You're under such scrutiny for that portion of your smart grid that it's really important to get it right. So we're going to show you how you can take advantage of the hindsight of folks who've been gone before you. At the end, we're even going to suggest a way that you can continue sharing lessons learned with your utility colleagues. So all in all, a great session in store for you today. Here's today's presenters. I'll introduce them very briefly, but then in more detail when it's their turn to speak. I am Jesse Burst. I'm the Chief Analyst at SmartGridNews.com. Joining us as well is Jessica Baker, a Business Architect and Project Manager for Baltimore Gas and Electric. Welcome, Jessica.
Hello.
And also with us is Shanu Nigam. He's the Smart Grid Solution Architect at Accenture. Shanu, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So here are some of the things we're going to cover today with Jessica and with Shanu. So we're really going to cover a lot of the key aspects of installing smart meters at scale. And I'll just say pick number 5 as just one example. You're going to, I guess you could call it, get a chance to have 20/20 foresight by taking advantage of their 20/20 hindsight by applying their lessons that they've learned to your future efforts. So this is I think a real comprehensive and great look at some of the real-world issues. Let me introduce you a little more detail to Shanu, and one of the things that's great about his background is he has a lot of experience at different projects and different utilities, so he's bringing a real broad view to bear. He is a Senior Manager and Solution Architect at Accenture. He's been the Solution Architect for the BGE Smart Grid program. Got a number of years working with electric and gas utilities, in-depth knowledge of systems-oriented architecture and some of the other technologies that are at the heart of these installations, and way more education and smarts than any one person should have. And also with us is Jessica Baker. She's a project manager for smart grid meter installation and provisioning at Baltimore Gas and Electric. Before that, she was a project manager at Constellation Energy. And I just signaled to you that she was also a founder and president of Constellation Energy's ECHO team. So she walks the walk in addition to talking the talk, and has been a real force in sustainability initiatives throughout the company. And with that, I'll turn that over to Jessica to give you a little outline of the BGE program, and then we'll get into our lessons learned. Jessica, welcome.
Thanks, Jesse. Our agenda today, Shanu and I are going to just give you a brief overview of the program with some background information. We'll let you know which vendors we selected to support our project, and then we'll jump into the lessons learned. This single slide is really the overview of our 4-year, $480+ million Smart Grid program. BGE was awarded $200 million from the DOE. We started officially in 2010, and we'll deploy meters through 2014. Essentially, we have to enable 2.1 million gas and electric meters and modules to be installed in the field. And we, as I'll show you in the next slide, chose Silver Spring Networks, so we're using their access points and relays to bring that information back to the office. I think it's important to note for us, as we went out and tried to collect lessons learned, there are a lot of good ones out there, but it was tough for us to find another utility with similar demographics as us. BGE has about 60% ERT meters or van-read meters, and then about 50% indoor meter population, which we've found to be unique with large-scale AMI deployments. We also have a kind of average temperature variation between 28 degrees in the winter and 88 degrees in the summer. So we see full 4 seasons and all the weather that comes with those seasons. And maybe the last thing I'll say is just that over the course of that 4-year program, we've divided the implementation of that functionality into 8 distinct releases. So we have 8 projects that deliver key pieces of smart grid or AMI functionality for the utility and the customers. You can see here a list of the vendors that BGE chose to partner with to provide the smart grid or AMI solution. And I think it was important for lessons learned for a couple of reasons, but maybe primarily just It helped us to know which other utilities were using the same vendors so that when we wanted very specific lessons learned, we could reach out directly to that utility and ask for those detailed lessons learned, practical lessons learned. I think it's probably important to note some other utilities are using what formerly known as VSI for our meter installers. They just recently, just last month, changed their name to Grid One Solutions. So we're trying to update all of our documentation, and if I refer to them as VSI in the next hour, I apologize. They're Grid One Solutions now. So those are our vendors. Okay, in the categories of lessons learned, you can see there we have a few bullets per slide to talk about the key lessons learned that we thought were not necessarily unique to BGE, but they were the primary ones that we experienced and want to share with you today.